This is the award-winning Lee Pitts Live.
Brought to you by the North Law Firm. For car accidents and negligent security cases, call Joe at 239-337-1191. By Crime Stoppers of Southwest Florida. Report crimes and get paid with nobody knowing your identity. 1-800-700-TIPS. And by Lee Health. Southwest Florida, you're looking live at a spectacle of huge proportion. It is Diamond Head Beach Resort here in Fort Myers Beach. You got to look at the spectacular beach. We're sitting here in Coastal Island Cuisine Restaurant, one of the finest restaurants in all of the state of Florida. I got a chance to eat here last night as well as this morning, and I would tell you that the accommodations are just outstanding. And the rooms here at this hotel are to die for. We'll learn all of that when we talk to the general manager here in this particular show. We'll get a chance to talk to Rob Hopgood, the general manager for Diamond Head Beach Resort here on Fort Myers Beach. We'll also get a chance to talk to Rob Johnson, the owner of Butterfly Estates. All that's happening on Lee Pitts Live. We'll be right back. Welcome back, Southwest Florida. We're going to be talking butterflies with our good friend Rob Johnson. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you.
Your title, the owner of Butterfly Estate. How does one go about thinking, hey, I want to own a butterfly estate? That's where I want to plant my flag.
Well, I grew up in the area. I grew up in Southwest Florida and went away to college, up in Gainesville, and then became a dolphin and killer whale trainer of all things in Miami at an attraction, and became, very enthralled with the environment from a very young age.
I see.
So I was fascinated with animals. I was fascinated with Southwest Florida's natural environment, of everything that we had available to us as children, and what we saw as kids is not what our kids are seeing today.
I see.
So one of the things that we wanted to do as a family, being from Southwest Florida, is to really instill on people how easy it is to get outside, get into your yard, plant a few things, and before you know it, you got all these beautiful butterflies and all these wonderful things coming to your yard, and it's really, really fun, right? So our job really was like, hey, we're going to go down to downtown Fort Myers. We're going to build a glass butterfly conservatory, and we're going to teach people what to plant in their yard.
What do your buddies say, the macho guys, when they say, you into butterflies?
Not really. I have a very diverse group of friends, and I don't really get that pushback from men,
right.
Like, I know butterflies are often associated with femininity, but the truth is you have a lot of guys that will come to the butterfly estates and be like, no, my wife is going to go in. Let my wife go in. Before you know it, the guys are in there. They won't leave the conservatory. They're fascinated with the whole life process and cycle of butterflies. And so I think it's a farce.
And I told you that I took my son to a butterfly place, and I was just fascinated as well. I didn't want to leave. And, of course, next time people see you on the show, the television show will be at your location.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
But when I was a child, my favorite animal or whatever was a butterfly because it was peaceful. We could catch it with our hand, hold on to it, and do some stuff, and then let it go. Sometimes we were mischievous and do some bad things to the butterfly. I don't want to say that to you. But how kids are. But is that as opposed to the bumblebee or the wasp, that butterfly, when I was a little boy, it was like we would run around and chase them. Do you think that something about the butterfly and childhood memories also work close together?
Absolutely. I mean, it really is fascinating for kids. I mean, if you go into any Lee County school system and they're teaching people or teaching children about the life cycle of butterflies, they get to see the entire process, right? So they get to see eggs being laid by the females, and then when that develops and becomes a caterpillar, and that caterpillar then is eating, right? And then it goes into a chrysalis, and before you know it, emerges this beautiful, amazing butterfly that can fly, right? So I think that children find that particular process absolutely fascinating, right? And teaching our children those things, like how important the pollinators are, how important butterflies are, bees are, wasps even, you know. These are not things that we need to instill our children on to be afraid of. We need to tell them, look at what's going on in our backyard. And this is fascinating.
Speaking of our backyard, we literally have a butterfly conservatory attraction right here in downtown Fort Myers that you brought to bear here. Yes. Tell us where it's located and what can people expect when they come to the attraction.
So we're located on 1815 Fowler Street, right across catty corner from the tax building, what everyone used to call the Darth Vader building. But we're right across from that. And
you're on that corner?
Yeah, we're on the corner. People often think we're an assisted living facility and drive right by us.
Okay.
But we're actually, we have 4 buildings. And 3 of those buildings were renovated from the early settlers of Fort Myers. So we took original homes, renovated them from top to bottom, doing a green build. So there's a hardy plank on the outside. We did recycled decking, and we made those homes into shops. So one of those shops is a restaurant and a cafe, and it's run by a wonderful woman named Sabrina from Germany. We have another shop that's called Thrifty Garden, and that's where people can go learn about gardening and buy supplies. And then we have a new art gallery that opened up called Das Gallery, Art Gallery.
How long have you been there?
We've been there since 2009.
Okay. Is the butterfly estate still somewhat of a secret, or has the word gotten out? I know right now millions of people are looking at you, so that's some more stuff.
Well, I'm on Lee Pitts Live, right? You've been here for
it's no longer a secret
28 years or more, right? So
right.
I'm very excited to be here. I appreciate you having me on the show. And no, I don't think a lot of people know about us. And we keep a low profile, to be honest with you. We are more animal oriented. We're more enthralled in the environment and doing what's right for the environment. So unlike a lot of attractions that you would go to other butterfly facilities in the country where you're going to see butterflies on display, our job is to protect Florida butterflies. So we want to make sure that we are instilling upon people from Southwest Florida and all over the world that visit us that this is what you can do in your own community. We are doing it here. It's very easy to do. And it's a really great thing.
Okay, so when you go into butterfly estates, you're going to experience butterflies, local butterflies.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
When you say local, you mean in the state of Florida, or just here in Southwest Florida or Lee County or Fort Myers?
Just here in Southwest Florida.
Okay.
So we focused on the species that are in our area, and there are approximately 18,000 or more butterflies in the entire world. And you wouldn't believe how many of those species are right here in our area. And you could simply go in your backyard, plant the right host plant, because every butterfly requires a host plant in order to survive. So all these different butterflies that you see, all the different colors that you see, each one has a specific plant it needs to have in order to survive.
No other life animals are there? It's just butterflies only?
Butterflies only, right.
Okay.
We have turtles.
Because I heard you say something about we're concerned about all the animals. I thought there might be some other things there, like.
Well, you know, the thing about butterfly gardening is that it extends beyond your property. Because once you start to do it, you don't put any pesticides on your yard because that will kill your butterflies. You're very conscious of everything you do in your yard.
I see.
So what's happening is that because of that and that inspiration that you have, guess what? When it rains, all that pesticide's not going into the river, right? And that is affecting our water quality in Southwest Florida, right? So we want to make sure that we're doing what we can as residents of Southwest Florida to protect our environment.
That sounds like a magnificent place too for people to bring children on a field trip and things of that nature. What's the process of tapping into that?
Well, we have group rates. I mean, to be honest, we're very inexpensive. We have weddings at our facility too, and it's a nonprofit organization. So when you come, you can actually write that off.
We have your website appearing on the screen, and people can tap into that and learn more information. But give that website verbally.
Sure, it's thebutterflyestates.com.
All right. What kind of response have you seen from the visitors so far?
Our visitors have been wide-ranging, right? So a lot of the visitors that we get, surprisingly, are from other countries. When We get a lot of Germans, for instance, that like to come, but they're more environmentally conscious, I feel, than Americans. So Americans expect to go to certain attractions and they get, you know, a lot of flash and things. Our facility is a learning facility. It's an educational facility. So when people come, they're either way, right? They're either like, wow, I really learned a lot. This is fascinating. Or, hey, what else is there to see, right? So we want to make, our job is just to be an education facility.
What is Gardner's Park, and what would you say to people who are interested in opening a business in Gardner's Park?
Gardner's Park is a really amazing extension of the Butterfly Estates in my mind. Because when I first started the Butterfly Estates, one of the things you have to do is called a plan unit development, right? The city is requiring you to show your plan, right? So my plan to go before the city was, hey, I'm going to build a big glass butterfly conservatory in downtown. And they were like, you know, like, what are you talking about, right?
I see.
So there was a thing there where I had to kind of go beyond my borders, get out of my comfort zone, and reach out to the neighbors, right? Mm-hmm. Because the neighbors had a say in whether I could build a butterfly conservatory in downtown. So one of the things I did right away was I came up with my little computer and I wrote a letter to all the neighbors. And I'm like, hi, my name's Rob Johnson and this is what I want to do. And then I went and I hand delivered all those to all the neighbors.
Really, man?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I took them and handed them to the neighbors, right? Said, my name's Rob Johnson and this is what I want to do in downtown Fort Myers. And will you come meet with me? Will you come to my place? And lo and behold, 20 people showed up.
Really?
All the neighbors showed up, right? And so I thought, well, this is great. You know, I can really try to get in touch with my neighbors, find out what they think about my business, and whether they want it or not. Mm-hmm. You know, and lo and behold, they were like, this is the best thing that ever happened. You know, what else can we do? So we got together as a community and said, well, we need to brand this area. We need to look really close at this part of downtown Fort Myers.
Which is on the River District.
It is. It's in between those two bridges,
and
you know.
the Community Redevelopment Agency is doing a great job there as well. Go ahead.
And that's what we did. We reached out to the Community Redevelopment Agency. So we said to them, we want to adopt some of the incredible history that we have here in downtown. And the second mayor of Fort Myers was a Reverend William P. Gardner. And I went to the History Museum to kind of figure out who this person was and what he did for the city. And lo and behold, he and his family had a 22-acre guava farm that stretched all the way in the middle of downtown. And they were the biggest guava farm in the world at the time.
I see.
And his family went on to bring things like electricity, fire prevention, and a lot of other things to the city. Mm-hmm. And we embraced that. We took that history of William P. Gardner, the Reverend, and his family, and we rebranded that area to adopt his name and create Gardner's Park.
5 years from now, when we look at all of this, what's the future going to look like?
I think that Gardner's Park is just growing with incredible local business owners, right? And I think people are really kind of getting back to embracing each other and kind of learning more about each other and supporting each other. Mm-hmm. So local business owners are flooding into Gardner's Park with incredible art, and these local businesses, I mean, you just have to go. You have to go in there. You wouldn't believe what they have in there.
Well, Rob, we're just so fortunate to have had you, to have that vision, you and your partner, your business partner, to bring something like this to our community that we can be proud of and that can continue to grow and be environmentally sensitive. How about that?
Thank
Stewards
you,
of our environment.
Thank you, Lee.
Keep up the good work, okay?
Thanks, pal.
Well, next time we'll see you will be at Butterfly Estates.
Sounds good.
For those who say it can't be done, they're usually interrupted by those like Rob and all the fine people who are associated with Butterfly Estates. When we come back, we'll meet the general manager of this fine hotel right here on Fort Myers Beach, Diamond Head Beach Resort. Hello, everybody. This is Lee Pitts, the host of the award-winning Lee Pitts Live here on Fox 4. We appreciate you watching our show here on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, clicking below. Let everybody else know that they can subscribe as well. Also, when we're on the air on Fox 4, you can also catch us streaming live at 8:30 a.m. in the morning on fox4now.com. Just click on live and you get us all types of ways at your convenience. That's Lee Pitts Live.